Hey everybody, I'm your man, Dennis Spitzenberger here, SEMA 2019 inside the Factory 5 booth with my friend Jim Skank, and it's got to feel great, Jim. Dave took the leash off and said, Jim, go build me a supercar.
That's right. What we have behind us here is really a teaser of what's to come. It's our newest car. We've done the kind of mid-engine supercar before, but really what we've always wanted to do is try to get that same performance but with a front-engine platform.
Jim, I know that the one thing that is going to make this car special is the chassis. Suspension I know is going to be great, but let's talk about that chassis because that's the thing I'm sure you're most proud of.
That's right. You know, it's really kind of the culmination of 20 years worth of work of us just learning about the chassis. You know, this is a chassis that we developed probably over the last 4 or 5 years. We've been racing it. You know, we've really kind of put a lot of extra effort into making it as rigid as we can, getting the suspension geometry good, and getting the engine as far back so the physics really are almost what a mid-engine car is. And I'm really excited to kind of get this thing on the road and you know, see what it's going to do.
What has been the hardest part of that? Because it's the design that goes into it. I mean, take me through, like, say, specifics on what has driven you one direction or another.
So for us, it's all about the physics of the chassis, right? The chassis has to be rigid. It has to be able to take, you know, all the loads that are on it. So, you know, the braking points, every aspect of the suspension has to be thought of when you're designing the chassis. You know, it's really you're interconnecting all the important parts. So for us, it's, you know, getting the right wheelbase, getting the right track width, getting the right ability to use parts, and at the same time we have the challenge of this is a car that somebody has to be able to build themselves, so we have to design it around buildability.
Beyond the incredible chassis, what are some of the other high points of this design?
So what we try to do is basically accommodate as many different types of engines as we want. So if somebody wants to run a Ford, a Coyote, or a pushrod engine, if they want to run an LS, even a small block Chevy, and now we even have the V12 that they can do. So it's really making the car so that somebody can build it the way they want to do it.
Jim, out of all the cars you've had a chance to be a part of with Factory 5, is this the best part of your resume so far?
I'd like to think so. I mean, I really like to think that we do at least a little bit better every time. Even though it's kind of a little different every time, you know, we kind of try to bring in more stuff. We try to, you know, look at what's out there. Obviously, there's, you know, newer benchmarks. Everything's getting better these days. The horsepower is going up, the brakes are getting better, but we can take all those parts and use them. You know, we can use more modern drivetrains, more modern, you know, brake systems, and we can, you know, really notch the performance up that much more. I think it's going to be the quickest car we've ever made.
All right, Jim, you know what? Out of all the cars that you build here, I'm excited to see this one get finished because you can tell the passion in your voice. This is special to you. So if people want more information, they want to follow along, they want to know how to buy one when they're available, where do we send them?
Just check out our website. It's factory5.com. As soon as we have a body, pictures, that kind of thing, it'll all be up there.
You heard the man, factory5.com. This is SEMA 2019.